Hello and welcome to the second episode of the Player Spotlight, where we'll be showcasing one of our players from the Women Futsal Crazy League. And in this week's episode, we have our first ever volunteer to appear in the show, Rifka Croissant from the Les Bleues team. So, hello, Rifka, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm very well. Thank you very much. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. All well here. How was the circuit breaker time for you?
That was tough, but we managed to cope quite well with two kids, working from home. But we feel released. Now we are in phase 2, and the children are back to school. Luckily they are in local schools, so they'll be, at school, and we have some free time at home now.
Okay. Oh, they're in local schools, yeah?
Yeah, they are. And
Right.
we are happy. I think it's a release because we got to go back to football, and we've missed football for the past 3 months. So
Yeah. Well, we can watch football on TV right now, not yet back on the pitch.
yeah.
Yeah. So let me just start now. Please share with us what brought you to Singapore, and in which
Okay.
year did you come here?
So I arrived in Singapore in 2009. I was working in Japan prior to this, and my husband Benoit was playing football in Bahrain. But I really wanted to move to Singapore and start my life in Singapore and work in Singapore. So Benoit managed to find a club in Singapore, and then I've joined him. So it was back in 2009, 11 years ago.
Okay. That's interesting. I always thought maybe, Benoit got an offer here in Singapore, so he joined a club here and then you followed. So yeah, this is an interesting take here.
I always liked Asian countries, so I was working in Japan, and Singapore was, at that time, very interesting. A lot of young were studying and working in Singapore, so I think it was a good place to be.
Okay. And on your husband, Benoit, he was a professional footballer. He played in Singapore's S League as well. Which clubs did he play for? Could you just share with us for our viewers?
Yes. He played for Tampines Brewers during 4 years. He was a central defender. So I think he really enjoyed the end of his career in Singapore. He won 2 S League titles, I think Charity Shields, and he played the Asian Cup 3 years in a row.
Okay. Before that, he was playing. Was he playing in France as well?
Yeah, he started his career at the age of, I would say, 13 years old, because he was recruited into the excellence center of training Clairefontaine when he was 13 or 14 years old. Then he played for the English Premier League.
Okay.
So, and then Netherlands in Premier League as well, or Second League, and then Middle East and Singapore.
Oh, right. That's quite a career he had.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was playing, did you go to the stadiums to watch him play?
Yes. But I was working. I was a bit busy, but I was going to the main games. At that time, I think the S League has very interesting local and foreign players. So I used to go and watch the games against Armed Forces, Home United, and as well as some Singapore Cup final as well.
All right. What do you thought about him as a player?
I'm going to be very, very objective, So I was really impressed by the way he's able to lead a team. And I think he had a good vision as well, and a great technique. So what I like as well is, like, even though he was a defender, he managed to score some goals, during his career, and it was pretty impressive.
Okay. And is he around you now?
No, he's working upstairs.
Okay. So when do you start playing football yourself?
I started to play football in December 2018, at the age of 38 years old. So there is no age to start football.
Yeah.
The team was created by a French lady in the name of Aude Percherin. So she invited few French ladies to join that new team, and then we've integrated the Women Football League, Futsal League. Sorry.
All right. Going back to that, so what developed your interest in football?
So I always liked collective sports. I've played at, I would say, a good level of basketball and handball in France, but I never had the opportunity to play football. It was not really accessible for women. So I liked it. I follow football. I hear football for the past 20 years, thanks to my husband.
Yeah.
But I never really got the opportunity to play. Now my daughter is playing football in an elite team. My boys love football, and I think it was the right moment to start.
All right.
I didn't think compared to them.
Yeah, age is no barrier, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we want to inspire here through this show, So anyone listening, watching this, maybe they could be young, could be old, and there's no barrier. You can start picking up the game at any time.
Exactly. Just a matter of discipline, I would say, and the willingness. That's it.
Yeah. True. Are you a fan of any football club?
Yes, that would be Paris Saint-Germain, PSG.
Okay.
Just because I'm from Paris.
Okay.
But now my family lives in Paris. Originally, I'm from the east of France, but Paris Saint-Germain for the main games. But I will watch honestly more the World Cup when France is participating, and I think we're also planning to travel to Qatar for the next World Cup.
Okay.
During the Women World Cup, I went to see a few games in France as well when the women were
supporting the French team, I suppose.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Any favorite players, present or all-time favorites?
Yes, I think that would be always Zidane and Ribéry for me. Okay. I think they were the greatest player of the time. Zidane for his techniques, of course, excellent techniques. He's outstanding. I don't see anyone playing just like him. And Ribéry for his creativity and his speed.
Okay, all right. So, on your family background, you spoke a bit. You said you're originally from the east of France. What's the place? What's the name of the place that you're from?
So the name of the place is Troyes. It's a city that is located 1 hour and a half from Paris, in the east side of France. And this is where I met my husband. They have a football club. I think now they are in Division 2 in Troyes. And my parents and my grandparents are originally from Morocco, North Africa.
Morocco, yeah. Okay, so you've got Arab descent then.
Yeah, it's a mix. Yeah, it's very far Arab descent. They speak many languages. They have a dialect in Morocco, which gets a bit of Arabic language, but it's more like of a barbarian and North African culture.
Okay. Are you able to speak that?
Like a child, but I'm able to understand it when people speak it. I can understand it, but then it would be hard for me to respond.
Have a conversation.
Have a conversation. But if I spend some time there, I think 2-3 weeks or a month's time, I think I will improve. But I don't know how to write it, read it.
Okay. What's the language called?
They call it Darija. It's a dialect.
Okay.
Darija. But those people who are born in Morocco, when they go to school, they will learn the classic Arabic.
Okay.
I think you need.
And the classic Arabic, do you know? Can you speak? Can you understand? No, you can't. Okay. All right. You're the same as me then.
Yeah.
I like listening Arabic music, but I don't understand what they're saying.
Yeah, it's difficult. You need to go to school, to quiet time. It's not a language that we can learn that easily.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, back to your team now. You've shared how the team was formed. How was your experience like in this team?
So we have a great team, and we fight for every ball. This team was fairly new. There were a mix of ladies who play very well, who played football before, and some ladies who have no experience in football, just like me. So it's really a mix. But I think we've improved very much, tremendously since the start. We're making a lot of progress. So we were making quite good progress early this year with our coach until the COVID-19, happened, which stopped the momentum of the team.
Yeah. What position do you play?
Most of the time, I play defender.
Okay. And when I watch you play, there are aspects of handball and basketball in the way you try and mark an opponent. Because you're like, following the opponent all the time, and sometimes your opponents are left a bit bemused and like, why is this girl following me all the time? So it's quite entertaining.
And this is what I've learned, playing football is like keep your position, just stop. Yeah. You're not in a handball or basketball field. You're in a football 5-a-side, which is different.
Yeah,
so this
different.
is, this is what we're learning. Yeah.
Okay. So if anyone wants to join the Les Bleues team, how can they join? Do they all need to be French or French speaking, or can anyone join your team?
I think mainly it's something that we've promoted through our community of French or French, speakers. We have a Belgian, teammates as well. So they can contact us through a Facebook page, because we have a Les Bleues Women's Futsal page, so they can just approach us through that channel.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Alternatively, you can always contact me and I'll hook you up with them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now, back to football. What year did you join the Les Bleues team? If I'm not mistaken, I think you were in the league in their second season.
Mm-hmm. It is, yeah.
It is, right? Yeah. So what's your experience like in the league, the Women Futsal Crazy League?
So the team spirit is great. We play against strong teams, very strong teams. So it forces us to be vigorous and, and to remain, to keep on improving our techniques as well, and the understanding of the game, because the ladies that we are playing against are very strong. So it's a very nice experience. So, and the experience about the Women Futsal Crazy League would be as well, it's pretty well organized, and it's easy, to register for the game, to book your pitch for training, etc.
All right. And do you enjoy doing the post-match interviews?
Yes, you need to get used to it. But yes, it forces us to, to analyze the game and to have an objective view of what the good things you've done and bad things, and your weaknesses and how to improve them.
It makes you feel like a professional player, right?
Not really, not yet. Maybe one day if I score a goal, or maybe I'll be.
I will surely interview then.
Yeah.
Who would you say are the rivals for Les Bleues in the league? The rival teams.
They are pretty all our rivals, but I would say that Nighthawks. I think it's Nighthawks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are far above.
Yeah.
So anytime we play against them, we are very careful and watch out our techniques and position on the pitch.
They are the best team in the league so far.
Yeah.
Any players opposition players that have caught your eye?
I like Idaya and Siti Aslina.
Okay.
I like Siti Aslina because of her determination, her ball driving as well, and she's speed and creative, and she always keeps a smile. I like the spirit and the values that she expresses when she's playing.
Okay, and what do you like about Hidayah?
Yeah, so it's not easy to play against them.
Yeah, understand. She creates the moves from the back, Aslina. Yeah. What do you like about Hidayah?
Hidayah, it's her leadership. she's strong, she's neat, so yeah, I like her presence in a pitch and the way she plays.
Okay. And right now, could you just share with us some of the challenges you face as a woman footballer?
So I think the only thing I would say is like I still hear some comments of men, commenting about women playing football and always, for example, sharing. They think that we are not able to play football, or women don't have the ability to play football, which is a bit of a pity. But I think if those persons who are commenting play against our, first or second team of the Women Futsal League, I think they won't survive. So yeah, that's the challenges. Football is not really highly promoted. I see my daughter is playing football. There are not many options neither. So she's joining a male team, elite male team. So yeah, that would be the challenges that we are facing. A lack of promotion.
Okay. And what are some changes you would like to see made for the women's game?
I would say that maybe having more access to more events around the women football, some summer camps for us to intensively train and develop our technique and improve. And I think that occasional camps for us, or tournaments, to play even more. These things that I think locally that I'd like to see as an improvement. But then I could see that women football is gaining more audience. It's more promoted through media. Some clubs are investing more in football, like Lyon and Barcelona. So I think there is a great future for the next generation of ladies in football.
Yeah, I believe so too. I think after the last World Cup, there's a lot more attention on women football globally.
Yes.
And yeah, so that's nice to see. And we always encourage women football. That's why we have this league here, especially for women footballers, amateur footballers, because there are players here that play up to the tertiary level and then they stop. They don't go on to play at a level beyond that. When they become adults and all, there's no avenue for them. There's some occasional tournaments. There is the 11-a-side league, but not everyone plays in the 11-a-side league here. So that's how we decided to have this women futsal league, where teams can form with a smaller number, get together, play. Hopefully in the future we can even do an 8-a-side league, with a bigger pool of players.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, that's the objective of the future for us. So yeah, that's our plan, and that's our plan for women football in Singapore. And thanks for sharing some of your ideas and thoughts. We could probably implement some of them.
And I just want to add that Women Futsal League is fun as well. So we are training, we are playing, it's competitive, but we are getting a lot of fun and satisfaction out of it.
Yeah, not many teams train in this league. Some of them just turn up on a Saturday and then they play. You're one of those teams that train on Monday nights, if I'm not mistaken. And you've got quite a good number of committed ladies that turn up for the training. You follow through what the coach is telling you. So, that's really a good spirit to see. I've seen the improvement from the time you started in the league in the first season. And then, last season, you were actually quite good. This season, you've lost odd already. So, yeah, you still do need a bit of quality in that team. The other one would be Amel. I think she's really good. Yeah. So
yes. Yeah, Ahmed is very good.
Yeah. So I hope you girls keep on improving. Do not lose hope. Do not lose spirit. Keep improving. Keep training, and keep getting better.
Yes, we are already organizing ourselves for the next, training, since we're allowed to train. I think it's five.
Yeah,
5%.
5%.
Yeah, we are already discussing, and we are all looking forward to resume the training.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Rifka, for taking your time out to speak to us, and for volunteering as well. It's not easy.
No problem. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Okay, welcome. Have a good day ahead.
Thank you. You too.
Send my regards to Benoit.
Will do. Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Bye.